This is just a short video on making a accessory for my rotary. I saw a few templates and people using this to do pens, pencils, business cards, and wallets. So instead of buying a file, I sat down yesterday and kind of drew this up and cut out the one for my business cards out of 3mm basswood, which is that top one, and glued it last night, and I have it on the rotary now. The one below that is made for those wallets that you put cards in, and it has a money clip on the back. Those require an extra cutout on the bottom layer to allow for the money clip. So this was drawn using light burn and my Rolly Lasermatic 10, which I have the 20-watt module. So this has basically a 16 by 16 work area, so I was able to cut out the disc. Then I go to my 110 lens on my OMTech 80-watt. The 175 lens, which I would prefer using, I don't have tower height enough. By the time you stand the rotary up, I can't get the head high enough. So looking at this is basically how it will line up. You'll see the business card is basically centered, if I can get it here. Centered in the very small work area. And in order to test that, we're going to do laser tools, repeat marking. We're going to do a 6 count, calculate, so every 60 degrees. We're going to do a pause of 1 second, so that's 1,000 milliseconds. And set up steps per rotation. I actually thought it would hang on to this information, but it doesn't. So that's 12,800. Minimum speed, max speed, acceleration time. So when we push the test button, the rotary should take a full turn. So this is the material marking test: 12,800, 500, 3,100. So when I hit the test button, it'll do a full 360-degree revolution. And then go back to the starting point. So right now I've got some cards I had used for testing. Close. So I have just a square that represents the size of the card. So when I frame that with the 110 lens, I just set up this so it's running around the perimeter. And we'll try a couple of cards. All right, first time trying this rotary setup. Nothing's bolted down. I just want to see if I can burn 2 cards consecutively. I shouldn't have done a cross hatch. This is just a trial anyway. I should have just set it up for one burn and then move on to the next card. But this is set up for cross hatch of 45 and minus 45. So it'll take a minute to get there. So this is also the first time I've used this 110 lens. But I've got some aluminum stock. I'm going to make some risers for the tower. When I built this disc, I put the cards as close to the center as I could to keep the diameter small. But I wanted to leave a little room between the corners just for strength. So this is about as small as I can make it. So and we'll see if yesterday's work was worth it. I don't have any real editing software. Not sure how I'm going to blend these 2 or 3 videos that I've made to get to this point. How I'm going to blend them and do my editing, but there'll be a lot of stuff that I'll cut out, obviously. Not sure what all you guys are using for editing software on YouTube. So here we go, we're getting ready for the big move. There we go. So the work area on this lens is only 110 millimeters by 110 millimeters. So what's that? Less than 4 inches, right? 110. Yeah, 4¼ roughly by 4¼ So work area is pretty small. But the focal distance from the card up to OMTech uses the bottom of this red line that goes all the way around the head, was 287 millimeters. So that I could do, but the 175 lens is 386, so I just didn't have height enough. But it appears to be working. Now I set the count at 2. We'll see if it stops there. I run these pretty slow, at least on the black. You have to be careful how much heat you put in the card. It'll actually start to curl. So I'm only running, I don't know, 750 millimeters a second. It's 17% power. With the red and the green cards, I can get up around 3,000 millimeters a second without heat affecting the card. I need to do a little more experimenting with black to get my speeds up. But I just did a run of 100 cards of red and green. So there we go. 2 cards, back to the start. Phew. It does work.